We want to talk about this problem of overcapacity that's really being faced by China's solar industry. And we've got a piece out this morning saying that China's solar industry at this point needs a miracle. What sort of intervention or assistance from Beijing would really help? And does that as well really risk perhaps cutting off some of the great efficiencies that have been born out of having so many competitors in the market as well?
Well, for China's, the clean tech industry is now, as they say, the lower capacity. Actually, it's at least is the misleading, if not unfounded. Actually, while China's enterprise, they have entered this market among 20 years ago, and they have invested a lot of money in the R&D. And there is, the cooperation and, of course, competition among these the enterprises, from the supply side and also from the demand side. And also China, we have a very huge market. And now, after the 20 years experience and development, and with continuous investment in the STEM, and also China's higher education for the engineers' dividend. So this sector and also the value chain has taken the shape of the ecosystem. So this enter into mature phase, which demonstrate some seeing of the so-called overcapacity, but this is the common law of industrial development at this stage. And now, since with the development, we improve the quality, we improve the technology, and also makes the price cost fair dramatically. So this is the a significant figure of comparative advantage, and now China's industry has benefited from this comparative advantage, and we fulfilled in the domestic market, and now also we supply to the global market. I think this is not the so-called the so-called overcapacity by subsidies, right. Is by industrial development.
So if overcapacity is the misleading way to describe it, how would you describe the situation on the ground?
Well, the situation is the Chinese enterprise, they invest in this area from 20 years ago, and in a systematic manner. And thanks for the technological advancement and also the cooperation and, of course, competition among these players. And they have shaped a very comparative supply chain system. So this ecosystem lasts not just for one company or two. Actually, there is so many companies, including the foreign companies in China. So we attract so many foreign investment companies in China, and even like Volkswagen and Tesla. They operate in China, and they benefit from the technology spillover in China. So I think China make this great contribution and show this comparative advantage. And this is the industrial development phenomena.
Right. Now, I want to get to the gist of this, because certainly I think you're right. What is happening on the ground, what we're seeing, and what we call it could be different things. And one of the things we're seeing, and we're hearing also from players on the ground in the solar industry, for example, we had a big conference this week, is that they're saying the government needs to step in somehow to protect some of the profit margins taking place. And I'm wondering, if we don't say it's over capacity, what needs to happen still, though, to protect the profit margins of these companies so these companies don't kill each other?
Well, as I mentioned, this is is a product of boom, bust, cycle, and also this of
right.
From production and also to the technology. And at this phase, I mean the mutual phase, there will be the vast investment causing some restructuring and exit and consolidation, and so then it continue to increase the volume of production, and of course continue to decrease the cost. So when we mentioned solar panels, the cost in China decreased by over 95%. So that's the competitiveness. So in the 20 years ago, yeah. So I mean, thanks for this technology developments and also the competition. So this is the market oriented, and then while those with the cutting-edge technologies, generation by generation, they survive and expand, and they cause the restructure of the market. And also, of course, the world needs this new energy. So that is address the climate change challenges.
There's no doubt, of course, that having that sort of fierce rivalry in the solar sector, at least, has led to countless innovations, and some of those you just shared there. But there is still that call from the industry to do more, and President Xi Jinping himself warned back in May that an excess of investment into the solar sector or new energy sector could end up being counterproductive. So what sort of policy announcements are you expecting related to this at the upcoming third plenum?
Well, I expect the energy policy will be stable, consistent, and predictable, since our double carbon target is very clear. Peaks the carbon emission by 2030 and reach neutrality by 2060. I think this that will be also achieved earlier. So that's we make this target clear, and then our policy will be consistent with this. Although maybe we'll face the challenges, disciplines, but the target is clear. So the session will, I think it will make the very clear, very stable, policy orientation.
I'd also like to get your thoughts and your reaction to the tariffs that Europe announced this week targeting Chinese EV makers. And I'm wondering, do you think China should respond? If so, how should China respond? And is there something that can be done? Is it accurate to say we might be headed into a trade war with Europe, for example? Just your thoughts on that, sir.
Yeah, the view and also argument for this, the extra tariff on the China's EV is actually unfeasible. Since as I mentioned, this is the company competitiveness, and unfortunately, this action has conflict with what we thought it should be the common ground for cooperation to combat against climate change. So this is a very special bond between China, EU, of course, and also China for U.S. For the cooperation to cooperate for the climate change in this difficult time. But this action will cause the trade tensions. And sorry, we entered the trade tension from other areas into these climate change areas. So I think that would be the damage the cooperation foundation for the future. So I don't think there will be some turbulence. But yes, I think there will be some turbulence. That China will carefully, study the consequence of this action, within the 4 months. So I suppose there should be a clear way for negotiation and talk and try to give to common ground. I mean,
what's the capacity, though?
Sorry?
I'm wondering what the capacity, though, is of China to respond, because it does need to export its EVs and its solar panels to international markets. So really, how much room does China have here to push back?
Well, actually, for this tariff, the immediate result is that shift the production from lower-cost, more efficient country to high-cost, less efficient countries. So that's destroy international trade and also discourage the future for the global climate change actions. And so we cannot limit this production or sales marketing within one country. If the world, actually the world needs this, and just as Lin said, so the world at the moment expected to have these new EVs and more the climate-friendly products. So we encourage this development, not constrain this.
Now, the future, based on the industrial policy that you've outlined over the last, let's say, 10 years, for example, that's developed capacity to a point where China was able to bring down costs and be competitive. To your point, what do you think China's industrial policy should look like moving forward, as I guess China tries to help the world meet its climate goals, for one, and these next generation of clean technologies? Should China be pursuing the same industrial policy? Should it be doing more, for example?
Well, China's experience also all says that Chinese success is the demonstration of new production force. That means innovation, more openness, more cooperation, and further develop the technology, and of course also enhance the basic research. So that's innovation, and the new productive force will upgrade the economy and benefits the whole society, and also they will create more jobs for the people. So we can see for China's new the clean energy industry, they contribute roughly 9% of total GDP, and also they contribute 40% of the economic growth. So that's the driving force for the future. That's will be contribute dramatically to the social and economic development. So I think China will continue this path.